Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, Investigate America. So it's James A. Byrne, U.S. Courthouse, and William J. Green Federal Building. So I feel like Penguin 6 here, walking around a certain area of the city with all its, you know, barricades and vehicles and stuff like that. So anyway, a couple days ago, I happened to be in an old email because I sent out like a donation request thing, and in there was an email from Bank of America stating that they tried to send a refund or a letter to an address that I left in 2021. I lived at that address from the end of 2018 through 2021 in Gainesville, Florida, 32653 or whatever, I forget the exact, Northwest 40th Terrace, Turkey Creek Forest. So anyway, I noticed in the email in tiny print that it was a government prepaid card. And I was like, I didn't have a prepaid card. Like, where's this prepaid card from? I was like, should I call, or is it erroneous? And many years ago, when I had this email was more new, a friend who I knew who never used the internet and was sort of, in a way, I felt like a caseworker for him, but he used my email to apply for or to have correspondence with a credit card company. Not Bank of America, it would have been like Citibank or Chase Bank. I knew it wasn't Bank of America. I'm like, is he still getting emails from these people? That's what I thought for a second. And I was like, I don't think so, because many years have gone by. We're talking 15, 18 years, and you know, I'm pretty sure he changed that information and got caught up to date. So anyway, I called Bank of America, and on the first line of defense, a woman was verifying my address or saying, can you list addresses where you've lived in the past? And she didn't say anything. I'm like, well, you know, I lived at this address for 8 years, I lived at that address for 2.5 years, and now I live at this address here in Philadelphia. And 2.5 years I was in Florida, Gainesville, Florida. So she's like, okay, we're gonna transfer over to one more customer representative. I don't know if it was like the fraud department, or I'm not really sure. It was like a second line of defense to verify everything again, you know, and then we'll get this sent out to you. She didn't really say sent out to you. I was still wondering. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. It ended in 3225, the number of this alleged prepaid card, whatever. So I go through the verification process with this other guy. He changes my email to like a more present email that I would use more often. Then he switches me back to this woman, and I probably said 5 times, I'm kind of curious what it is. I don't know what that means. Like, I never had a Bank of America card, or for that matter, a prepaid card. I was still like, what is it? I took one special questionnaire through the University of Florida, like a paid survey, and I got a gift card for it. And I was like, maybe it's a gift card, even though that woman sent out Visa gift cards, not like a prepaid Bank of America. It was like for $50 or whatever. So anyway, at the end, the woman who was the original you know, representative on the line for Bank of America, she said, okay, well, we're closing out the account. There's like $2.32 left on this card, and we'll send it to the address where you live now. No one once explained, like, well, this was a prepaid card for blah blah blah. This was, and when I looked it up online, I'm like, what do they mean exactly, a prepaid card? Like, I know some people get money, like, you know, SNAP benefits, and you might get actual money for, you know, usually you have to have kids for that kind of thing. And I was like, there's $2 left on this card, and I never knew the card existed. So anyway, that's when I looked up online. It's usually for unemployment or other forms of assistance. And no one said anything like, oh, well, that's interesting. They didn't want to ask me, like, say, like, well, they either didn't want to scare me because someone was able to, I'm wondering, like, was it loaded up for $500? Was it loaded up with like $200 and I'm getting a measly $2 check. I'm like, was I supposed to be awarded unemployment benefits? Because I did apply for unemployment, because when I first arrived in Florida, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was like, and on recommendation, someone's like, just apply, because you'll at least get emergency food benefits and you'll be able to pay for food and not feel like a leech at your mom and aunt's house. And my mom and aunt were tight on their budget, so I didn't want them to feel like, you know. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'll apply. I'm trying to think if I tried applying for unemployment, but thought, well, it doesn't really, it's hard for me to prove unemployment. It's not like, so when I walked towards her, it looked like her hands were behind her back. They're in her pockets, but people can actually cause an illusion, and they would work really hard and put a lot of intention into it. I was told to show her. So I'm just telling you, someone tells me what to do. So she kind of resembles someone I knew who was a friend of a stepsister of mine from years ago, who lived across the hall from her in Smythe Hall. So anyway, she looks just like her. And these people can learn how to create an illusion. And if a gang stalking technique is to walk around with your hands behind your back to threaten people about jail, or maybe they think they're sending a message, that would be how they would do it. Like, they could send a message to their own people. I work for the jail system or whatever. I do not work for the jail system, because I don't know anything about that world. And for that matter, I really don't want to know. Anyway, but point being, so I've never been awarded unemployment benefits. It's really hard to get. Like, it would be like something happened, you would have to have a letter like, I was let go of this job for, laid off or whatever. Not like, you're not allowed to be fired from a job and still get unemployment, which kind of sucks, because it doesn't give due process. Like, what if you're fired for someone else being a jackass as opposed to you? Like, someone could just decide they don't like you and let you go and not give you a good reason. These people have to be loud, and that's par for the course for these types of folks. I'm wondering when he was told to turn it on and who knew I was coming. So I'm not kidding. I know that sounds like, in the past I would have never thought of that. But they are puppeted, and they're also told what to do. So we had to report sirens that went off 6, 7, 8 times yesterday. See what I mean? Someone put in tomorrow really quick. They're already warning me about tomorrow. So anyway, I had to report things 6, 7, 8 times yesterday because of how yesterday was really a bad day. And you would have to be in my shoes and be aware of certain things, and you would know, like, that is messed up, So anyway, I've never been awarded unemployment benefits because of the restrictions. I've always wondered, like, how do you get it if you're an innocent person who might be let go of a job for whatever weird reason. So anyway, and also in my email, I've gotten so far since that Bank of America experience on the call center, phone line, whatever. I've gotten 2 emails from the University of Florida